Good morning, my friend. How are you?
I'm good, thanks, Greg. How's it going?
I'm well. I'm very, very well. First of all, Amanda, tell us where you're from, where you are right now, and tell everybody what you do and how we know each other.
Okay. So I actually live in Birmingham, but I work at Loughborough University for most of my week. And the reason we know each other is because we're working together on the evaluation of GreggWallace.Health, and we decided that we quite liked each other and we might work together, right, Greg?
We get on like a house on fire. Funny enough, we do have similar upbringings, but very, very different career paths. So also you do some work with the government, or is that a secret?
No, it's not a secret, and actually that work is pretty much coming to an end now. But yeah, I've been helping the government to work out where we need to do research in terms of preventing ill health in the nation. I think it costs us a lot less to think about preventing ill health and diseases rather than having to worry about treating them in the NHS. So that's what I've been doing for the last year.
So for those of you that don't know, I lost 5 stone a number of years ago. And there was a lot of press interest about how I lost that weight. And then I realised there was loads of interest on how you lose weight. And then I realised the obesity issue we had in the UK. And then I set about helping people. And somebody at Loughborough University, who's a colleague of Amanda's, went to Amanda and said, you really need to sort out Gregg Wallace, go and have a look at Gregg Wallace from the telly, because what he's saying here on this GreggWallace.Health is actually making a lot of sense. In fact, I've done it myself and I've lost weight. And that's how our relationship came into play. And I got contacted from the university and said, you need a proper academic research partner. And that's how our working relationship started. And from that has come a friendship. In fact, we got dinner coming up in a couple of weeks.
Few weeks.
That involves red wine. So there you are. But now, so your credentials are without doubt, that's for sure. And what is it that you wanted to talk to us about this morning?
So obviously I come on the live chats quite a bit, Greg, and there's obviously been a lot of focus on weight, and rightly so. I think, many people are dying of diseases because they're overweight that could have been prevented. But I thought we might focus at least once or twice on physical activity. Physical activity won't particularly help you lose weight. It will help you to maintain your weight once you've lost it. But I think it's important to spend some time really promoting the benefits of physical activity, not least because this week it's Mental Health Awareness Week. And we have outstanding evidence that physical activity is really, really important in terms of promoting good mental health, depression, anxiety, and so on. So
Wow.
I think
okay. Now that's huge. And I just want to touch quickly on, you say activity doesn't really help with weight loss. It helps with maintaining weight loss. And I've been trying to explain this to people. Can you explain this? Because everybody thinks, well, okay, if I just go in the gym, put my tracksuit on and get in the treadmill, I'm going to lose weight. But that doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen. You've got to, regardless of anything else, Greg, right? Anyway, we need to be eating a healthy food and a healthy diet. You have to do an unbelievable amount of physical activity if you wanted to lose weight. I mean, more than, you'd have to be like Mo Farah, right? So that isn't going to work unless you really think about what you're eating. But the good news is once you've lost that weight, physical activity can definitely help you keep that weight off. We call it weight loss maintenance. So it stops you regaining the weight. And we know that most people will regain weight after they've lost it. So physical activity will keep you ticking along, help you to try and keep the weight down a little bit. But you've always got to eat a healthy diet. There's no way around that.
So let's quickly, very, very quickly, just list them if you can. And we'll go in a bit in depth, a little bit. But the obvious and some of the not so obvious benefits of physical activity. And we're not talking about going on a run every day. We're talking about a bit of activity. So just relax.
Yeah.
We'll get there in a minute. But just list the benefits for us, please, Amanda.
So osteoporosis, cardiovascular disease, heart disease, depression, anxiety. It can help with menopause, cognition, memory,
and
bone strength, health. It could go. So there's no dispute that physical activity is absolutely critical for people's health. And the problem we've got is that most of the population aren't doing enough. So the government, so all of the chief medical officers of the United Kingdom have all kind of signed up to this idea of guidance. And the guidance says that adults should do at least 150 minutes of moderate to vigorous physical activity a week. And on top of that, we should also be doing two bouts, if you like, of strength and balance-based physical activity. Most of us aren't doing that, but that's effectively what we need to do for optimum health. And one of the problems, I think, why we're not doing that, it's actually quite hard to achieve. 150 minutes is a fair few hours, and that's at least. So that's the minimum for optimum health if you want to achieve all these benefits.
Hang on, let's have a quick 150 minutes over 7 days would be 25 minutes a day.
Well, usually we promote it as 5 times 30 minutes a week, because you need a rest day as well, and life gets in the way, so you can't do it every day, but it's about that. And then you need to do your strength and conditioning type activity every day, but that's not like pushing weights and going to the gym. That can just be carrying a heavy shopping bag. It can be potentially gardening, it can be washing the car, anything where you're using your bones and your strength to really to move. So yeah.
All right, so at least half an hour a week. Actually, what we might do after this, well, we're always in touch. We should actually write a program and put it on GreggWallace.Health. But this is much easier than you think, guys. Much easier than you think. We've listed the benefits, okay? What will happen if we don't get any activity into our life? What's likely to happen?
Well, I think the other way to look at it, Greg, is to say, what is my risk if I don't? And we know that your risk of all those diseases, including cancer. So obviously I've been listening to you talking about cancer as well. And again, the evidence of physical activity and your risk of cancer is strong, particularly for certain types of cancers like prostate, colorectal, breast. We've got good evidence there that it can reduce your risk. And if you do get cancer, it can also help it stop it coming back. So I think we need to think, okay, what is my risk if I don't? And your risk of dying increases. It's as simple as that. And I think it's really important that we dispel this myth of exercise. What we're talking about is physical activity, moving during your day. And so we've got this 150 minutes guidance of moderate to vigorous physical activity. The other really key thing, though, is the government said in the guidance that every minute counts. Something is better than nothing. So even if you can't get to that 150 minutes, every minute that you do of movement a day is still really, really important and will help to reduce your risk. So we've been talking a little bit about SNACKTIVITY, haven't we, and snacks. And so we've been developing a program funded by the government that's called SNACKTIVITY. And it says, okay, 150 minutes for a lot of people, particularly if you're overweight, you've got a disease, you haven't been active before, can actually be quite hard to achieve. It's quite daunting when you say to people, geez, you've got to do 150 minutes a week and 2 sessions of strength and conditioning. So what we've done is try to break that down and make it really easy and say, can you do snacks of physical activity during your day to get to that 150 minutes a week? And so a snack of activity lasts between 2 to 5 minutes. And there's nobody on this earth that can tell me that they can't find a few 2 to 5 minutes of activity during their day to get to that 150 minutes. Remember, every minute still counts. So even if you don't get to the 150, but you're still doing your snacks, then that's still going to reduce your risk of dying. So go on.
No, this is brilliant. I just want to. I'm thinking, right. I need to write. What we might do is between us, we can write a challenge into an ebook. And we can put it on the front page of GreggWallace.Health so that people can download it free of charge. Yeah. And then they can keep their own, and I mean free of charge. And you can keep your own little gauge going. Would you help me with that?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, we'll call it Amanda's SNACKTIVITY.
Well, I don't do this on my own. There's a massive team that are behind the scenes doing a lot of this work.
Yeah, but they're not all my mates. You are.
That's true. Shall I give you some examples of some snacks that people on the call could do? So the kettle will take 2 minutes typically to boil. So rather than standing there and watching the kettle boil, you could do some calf raises, you could do some squats. I don't understand why we sit and watch the kettle boil. We could use that time, right, to do some physical activity. Ad breaks. Why wait for Coronation Street to restart? We could do some leg raises in our chair and get our muscles strong. We could climb the stairs in our house. We could do a little bit of extra gardening. You could take the dog for an extra little walk. You can park your car further away from your destination, walk to where you're going. That's a little snack. Do what you need to do. Walk back to your car. That's another snack. So you can see how these things can build up during your day to get to your snacktivity of 150 minutes.
150 minutes? Can that be 150 minutes of walking?
Yeah, it can be whatever works for you is really good. There's no, there's no sort of limits on what that might be.
And what about the strength training twice a week? We kind of need a program for that, don't we? Don't we need some exercises to tell us exactly what that is?
Well, I guess I'm not a strength and conditioning coach, but just some examples of things that you can do. So when I go to the supermarket now, I don't use a trolley. I use a basket. That's strength going through my arms and shoulder on each side each time I go. I use the trolley once a month to buy the big things, right? And other than that, I don't use a trolley. Use that as a time to get my strength in.
I reckon with my PT, Danny, I reckon we could do some strength stuff that you could do at home. In fact, we used to have a load of it on Show Me Fit. I'll bring them over in GreggWallace.Health, and I will put together an easy program. So what we need is 150 minutes of activity. That's not exercise. That's not going to the gym and like doing dumbbells and jogging on a treadmill.
No.
That's 150 minutes of exercise. That's half an hour, 5 days a week, right? And that can be done in 5 or 6 minute sessions. So you could time yourself and write it down so that means that you could actually do 6 lots of 5 minutes.
Yeah, you can do it however you want, Greg. The guidance is every minute counts. We've got this concept of snacktivity, which is 2 to 5 minutes. The key thing, though, is it's not a little shopping shuffle when you do snacktivity. You still got to do it at a moderate intensity. You still got to raise your heart rate so that you're feeling, not out of breath, but a little bit breathless for it to impact your health.
Is this program available now? I mean, is there any way you can get info to download it now?
We're testing it nationally at the moment, so it's not, but there's no reason why people can't start. And we've got ideas. If people got in touch, we've got call it a snack board with loads of different examples of activity snacks that people can do. But the other thing I think that's really important, that's pretty scary, I guess, is the amount of time that people are sitting during their day now, particularly post-COVID when everybody's at home a lot more. So snacktivity, because you're doing it throughout your day and you're accumulating snacks now throughout your day, you're bobbing up and down a little bit more, so you're sitting less. And actually sitting is an independent risk factor for cardiovascular disease. So it doesn't matter how much physical activity you do. If you sit all day, it increases your risk.
Whoa, hang on a minute. Hang on. We need to put a highlighter pen through this. Say that again and explain to me why.
Okay,
please.
So I'll use myself as an example. So I'm a really keen runner. So most mornings when I'm listening to you, Greg, I'm out pounding the streets. I come back, I've done my 45 minutes. I sit for the rest of the day. That still puts me at risk because I'm sitting too long. I've still got to do my snacktivity during the day if I want to keep my risk of dying down. You can't.
Oh my word.
It's a bit like your weight thing. You can't outrun a bad diet. And it's similar sort of thing here. And the problem we're going to have, because now people are at home a lot more, is back pain, musculoskeletal issues, all those sorts of things, mental health issues when people are disconnected, not going into the office as much. So it kind of raises the importance so much more of making sure that people are doing snacktivity during their day.
This is fascinating. We need to, Amanda, I know you've mentioned it, but this is the first time we've actually discussed what it is and the dangers involved in not. We need together to write a program that's downloadable from GreggWallace.Health that just gives people practical advice on how they can implement this. And I know we can do it. I know we can do it because you're a terrible bully. So
I'm not, Greg. You're not selling me very well, are they?
Jeez, once you get involved in any project with Amanda, you'll find that she's like constant. Right, have you delivered that? Right, we need that. Right, and then she smiles at you and says, "Oh, that's very good. I'll just make some notes." And then the notes come over. And it's right. You have to do this and you have to do that. But what that does mean is you get things done, and you get
Totally.
things done properly. And that is why one of the reasons I'm incredibly fond of her. She has a very scientific approach to every project. We will write that for you, people. We will write that, and we will get it done as a downloadable ebook for free that shows you how practical ways of getting 150 minutes of activity into your life and some strength conditioning that doesn't involve weights and machines. I just want to, one more time, go over the benefits and the dangers of not, if we could, please, because this is going to be the first page of the ebook, I feel.
So the benefits of physical activity are vast and varied. It can reduce your risk of heart attacks, cardiovascular disease, diabetes. It can improve your mental health. It improves your cognition, your brain functioning, your sleep. You can't have good quality of life without good sleep, and exercise will definitely help with that. And again, I think because it is Mental Health Awareness Week and I am a psychologist, it's really important to think about our brains and our minds and how we're feeling about our lives, and the evidence for exercise and physical activity improving our mental health is extremely strong. It's a first line treatment for depression. So when you go to your doctor, it will be a recommended treatment to help you feel better.
Isn't that extraordinary? It's extraordinary how much good nutrition impacts on our life. It's in a positive way. It's extraordinary how much a bit of activity can have a major impact on our lives. And just the dangers of leading a sedentary lifestyle and sitting in the chair all day and then going from the chair to the sofa is what?
It's high. I mean, it depends on which disease you're looking at. But effectively, if you can get 150 minutes into your life, then it reduces your risk by somewhere between 10 and 20% of all-cause. We call it all-cause mortality. But actually, it reduces at less than that. If you can get 30 minutes of SNACKTIVITY into your life, then it will reduce your risk of around 10%. So it's really worth doing.
I don't want to come across as Peter Perfect, but I used to have a lifestyle that was full of takeaways and no exercise at all. And if you look at me now, I'm 60 in October, and not only do I look better than I've ever looked, I feel better. I mean, it's really hard to explain to people the impact that a better life can have on your life. It just impacts it. You know, this is you and your life every day. Why not be the best, healthiest version of yourself you can be? Why not fill your life full of energy and vitality? Right, should we stop this to see if there's any questions? I'm not going to do shout-outs to people, just any questions and queries. And that was fascinating. And we'll do this again. Off the top of your head, what other subjects would you like to hit?
The top of my
hair loss. Hair loss.
Hair loss. We could do one on physical activity in women's health. We do a lot of stuff around the menstrual cycle. We do a lot of stuff around menopause. Do one on just specifically on cancer.
Okay. All right. Well, there's a lady called Sarah that's going to be joining GreggWallace.Health, who I met, who treats cancer patients. She herself, I won't tell her story, but it's sad.
Yeah, sure.
She had cancer.
Yeah.
She is okay now, and she treats cancer patients through exercise and nutrition. And I was skeptical.
Okay.
And I came to you, Amanda, and you went, no. Here's all the research. He's absolutely right. Here's all the research. Here's all the research. So because I thought I can't put that on my website without being absolutely sure. So I went to a couple of GPs and I went to you, and you all went, no, it's fine. It's good. She's right. So she'll be joining. So we will do that chat. Right, Strive Fitness then. Say hello to Strive Fitness, if you get a chance, because
I will.
She's a PT, which I think puts a lot of people off, because obviously she looks as fit as a butcher's dog. But actually, she's really clever. She's really bright, and she understands people's different levels of fitness and activity. Because just because she looks like that doesn't mean she trains everybody who looks like that. She has to look like that as an advert for what she does, right? It's like, But
I guess one thing to bear in mind, Greg, which I think really important to tell people about here, is that there is nothing more important than you and your health. You have to put your health first because nobody else will, and you're worth it. And the way
Yeah.
in which you can put your health first is to think about doing your SNACKTIVITY, doing your physical activity, and cooking healthy meals for yourself, because you're worth it. And there is nothing more important. You can't be your best self for your wife, your partner, your children, if you're not fit and healthy and feeling mentally and physically strong. So it's just a no-brainer in my mind.
I think there are two big barriers here in my experience now. I've got 4 years experience in this. One is people actually don't know how to cook.
Yeah.
They just simply do not know how to cook, which is why I've been desperately trying to teach them. The other one is everybody thinks they're busy. They're not, but they think they are.
Yeah.
And there's an overwhelming desire to be on a sofa. So people say, well, it was 7 o'clock till I sat
Yeah.
down. Well, what was so good about sitting down? Like what is it that you did?
Yeah.
Tell me the highlight of your day wasn't Coronation Street and a packet of obnobs. It can't. There's got to be something better. But that's what we're up against.
Yeah.
We're all creatures of habit. And if we get into these bad habits, it's a bit of a jolt to break out of them.
Yeah.
But when you do,
Yeah.
your new lifestyle becomes your new habits and you don't think about it.
Yeah.
If you sat me and you down now on a sofa at 6:30 and went, there you go, your dinner tonight is a takeaway and a packet of biscuits, you and I would be deeply unhappy.
No, we wouldn't do it, Greg. Never. Well, we might, but once a year.
Right, okay.
Can we have a first, Greg, of you telling people on here that actually snacking is really good for you, but just not on food, but on SNACKTIVITY? Can we hear it? Can we hear you say snacking is good for you?
Yeah. Listen, I've been telling people for 4 years not to snack.
Right
now, I'm doing a complete 180-degree turnaround. Snacking is good for you.
Love it.
It's called SNACKTIVITY. We're going to get on this. We're so going to get on this. Right, Trace, GreggWallace.Health, how you doing? Right, okay. Scrolling through. Hello, Lisa Addison. Right. Okay, people giving me the weather reports in different parts of the country, which is lovely. Sarah Gray's World, how you doing? Marcus Waring. Right, this is my friend Marcus Waring from MasterChef. Is anybody catching Marcus's show about Provence in France? If not, go over to iPlayer and download that. If you're going to sit on the sofa tonight and you're going to watch something, watch that. You've got lovely blue-eyed Marcus, good-looking boy. Pin up, good look, but talking to people and producers, looking at a different way of life with activity in it and good food in it, and he cooks in it as well. And somebody lucky enough to sit beside Marcus on a day-by-day basis and eating his food, it's unlikely you'll get better.
Yeah,
all right,
yeah.
Marcus, good morning. Go over and look Marcus's series in Provence. There you are. I think I'm going to get a cuddle from Marcus after that big shout out.
I wonder if Marcus does any SNACKTIVITY, Greg. Could you ask him that next time you see him? So
Marcus is as fit as a butcher's dog, and Marcus, I know, eats really well and does activity. Me and Marcus, I think, have the same slight issue, and that's the love of a good glass of wine. But if you look at me and Marcus, I'm guessing, and we're both in our 50s, but we're in good shape. And neither of us spend all day in the gym, and neither of us spend our lives eating salads.
But you've still got to do your SNACKTIVITY, Greg. No matter how fit and healthy and strong you are, we've got to reduce the amount of time that we're still and sitting during our day. So
I'm okay. I'm okay. I'll tell you that habit that I got into, everybody, and it's a nice tip. When somebody calls me, I get out of the chair and I walk.
Yeah.
I just walk up and down, because what difference does it make?
Yeah.
And you'd be amazed the amount how your step count goes.
Yeah.
You'd be amazed. Normally I do this walking, but because I had to make sure that you were accessed, I thought, and I'm old and not really into tech, I thought I've got to sit down to do it. But normally I do this.
Walk and talk meetings are great. Why go to Starbucks and sit in? Why go to Starbucks anyway? But why go into Starbucks and sit down with your friend and have your coffee? Why not walk and talk?
Why not walk and talk? Claire Gatenby, if you want advice on nutrition, you actually want GreggWallace.Health. All right. There are 3 really good nutritional therapists on there, and it'll cost you 12 quid to join. Claire Walter, Taffy Devon, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, gluten-free. We've got all the help you need. I'm scrolling. I think everybody joined, and I'm not sure anybody's got any questions, Amanda, but that's fine.
Okay.
Oh, government. Right, we don't need government help, Helen. We just need individual help. Okay. Do you need to? So she's saying, where can the government support business to enable staff? No. You, as a member of a team, you start the support group. You talk to the bosses. You all get together. Take control. Don't wait for somebody else to do it. You take control. Helen, you're bright. You can do it. Don't wait for government to do it. You do it. If you're in an office environment, you think we're all sitting down too much, get together, have a chat with your mates, start a little
Help
pressure
each
group.
other.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's do it. Let's not wait for a government. People in suits and ties. We don't need them. We don't need them. We've got us. Power to the people. Right. Claire Gatenby, she said 10 or 15,000 steps a day. That's a lot. Or is it about the quality of the steps as opposed to the quantity? Amanda?
Yeah. So I would argue that we try not to stick to targets for everybody. I mean, if you can get to 10,000, that's great. But if you can just do 1,000 more this week than you did last week and build on what you've done, then that's great. For some people, it might be 15,000. For some people, it might be, 4,000 or 5,000. But 10,000 is the number that's sort of bandied around, but we don't have strong evidence for the 10,000. We just say do a little bit more or do as much as you can each week and keep building up.
Yeah. Okay, Strive Fitness NI, and I do really rate her. She says on here, I hear the word strength and conditioning, and I'm here to help. I mean, you don't have to turn yourself into a gym bunny to make a massive amount of progress. And Strive Fitness NI is a lovely, lovely lady, and she's an expert. She can give you these programs that you can do at home. She can. Right. We've got Claire Gateby's got loads of advice and loads of questions, but I've actually got to get out of here.
I've got 2 more minutes and then it's school time.
Right, yeah, I want to go back home and say ta-da to my little Sid before he goes off to school, because I'm away for the next 2 days. So, Amanda, thank you for joining me. I think that's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. We are going to write that program into an ebook and give it away.
Sure.
All right, my friend. Take care. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Have a great day. Keep going with this activity.
Bye.